Hello, love. Welcome to the Libran Key. It has been a hot minute. There's been a lot going on. I'm just going to preface this reading very quickly without taking too much time to say that there are many, many shifts taking place. If you are also feeling that, know that you're not alone. I have been a little MIA lately because of a lot of integration, things needing to kind of percolate and brew. So that's why you have not been seeing me popping up in the last week or so. Please click on the notification bell going forward because I don't really know. I have not been given necessarily, and I myself also of my own free will do not know exactly what this kind of schedule, if I can put it that way, is going to look like moving forward. So if you are aligned to this channel, if you're aligned to these energies, click the notification bell or check in, because again, we're not working on a schedule here anymore. And this is kind of actually tying into the message that wants to come through here. I am recording this on Sunday, December 8th, 2024, Earth date, Earth time. And I have the energy of Lazar and Lyran consciousness, the Lyran collective coming in for this. I'm hearing the Lyran, if you want to refer to it. He's given me a lot lately with regard to this, different ways that we can address these councils. For those of you who resonate with councils, galactic councils as a starseed, and even Lightworker by extension, what he's showing me, I'm seeing the word High Council here. So maybe for some of you, I'm actually seeing LHC. So like the Lyran High Council. Are some of you perhaps working with a Lyran High Council? Please leave a comment below if that's the case. He will bring in, Lazar is indicating to me that he's going to be bringing in names and titles that will be either a confirmation to you or not. It doesn't really matter, but again, everything is specific. Nothing is ever random here, okay? And also one of my guides connected to the Lyran Andromedan emissaries of light, okay? Again, L-A-E-L as they like to be referred to. All here, of course, for the highest and greatest good of humanity, the evolution of consciousness here on Mama Gaia, okay? Elsh Collective, empaths, lightworkers, starseeds, and healers, awakened and awakening souls. Also want to preface this before I forget again that I am completing a summary of packages to be offering for one-on-one sessions. I'm going to start leaving my email address now with this video in the description box below. If you are interested in contacting me regarding any kind of session work, one of the session packages that I will be offering is a customized package, and one of them is also connected to starseed origins, galactic energy, councils, again, is what they're telling me, okay? Again, I'm in the midst of sort of like fine-tuning this, but because of a lot of this integration that's been happening, it is taking longer in terms of Earth time, Lazar reminding me, and I have been fighting, in a way, my own ego shit around trying to get stuff ready quickly and like, get it done, get it done, get it done. Even despite all the work that we do around these things, there's always another expansion, like the layers of an onion to go, okay? And it's really good when that happens, okay? There is going to be a lot coming through this channel moving forward, I know for a fact, of really reworking how we look at the shadow, reworking how we look at fears or frustrations, and how this is gold. This is the energy that we are, this is a lot of opportunity in that. Opportunity in crisis, okay? The number 5 energy, 14, also coming through, the energy of temperance with that. The alchemy of all of this, all right? This is a path of liberation, is what Lazar is showing me. And remember, the Lyrans are all about this. They're all about us being firm, stepping firmly, embracing, reintegrating our sovereignty, remembering our sovereignty, essentially, is what Lazar is saying to me. And in a sense, liberating ourselves. We are the heroes of our own journey, is what Lazar is saying to me. Okay. And on that note, we're going to be popping some cards today and channeling these messages with Lazar here, with one of my guides from the Lyran Andromedan emissary. So we're getting a very Lyran Andromedan perspective on this fear right now of not knowing where to go next or what to do next. So I want to preface this by saying that the energies and the frequencies on Mama Gaia have shifted dramatically, especially within the last 6 months or so, give or take. Okay. A lot of this is to do with solar flares, upkick, expansion, evolution, frequency shifts is what Lazar is showing me. Our own work, everything is working in tandem. It's like a dance is what he's showing me, without getting too complicated here. So think of this like a relationship where there is this equal flow of sort of a give and a receive. There's energies are amping us up. Also, with more of this light quotient is how he's describing it to me. And he means that in terms of consciousness and understanding and awakening to the falsities, to much of the reprogramming that needs to take place. Okay. There's going to be a lot of purging. We know this, right? This has been happening for a while now. Okay. He's bringing in the energy now of Pluto being integral in this. And remember that this has been an ongoing process, but at certain moments in time, there are moments that where things will feel more intense. They will be more palpable. Other times things are kind of, I'm hearing the word coagulating, like underneath the surface. So they can feel a little slower, because coagulation is kind of a sticky energy. Yeah, and it can almost feel like there's a block or something that's like there's some form of resistance coming up, when in fact that's actually an integration that's taking place. So that might be resonant for some of you as well. Okay, so having said all of that, keep in mind that with these shifts in frequencies, the baseline energy, the baseline vibration or frequency at which we are each operating at in a microcosmic sense, so at the individual level, but also to a macrocosmic sense at a collective level. Did I say sense? Tench? What did I just say? I'm hearing the word stench now. Okay, for some of us, this has been happening for me, so maybe this is also happening for you too. For some of us, our sense of smell is really changing. Okay, I'm seeing the energy of the snake coming through with that, and this goes back to the death and rebirth process with the snake shedding its skin. The snake also very attuned and sensitive to energy and vibration, especially on Earth. Remember that a snake travels on its belly the entire time, constantly connected to Mama Gaia. Hence the symbolism of the snake with Mama Gaia and the divine feminine. Okay. Okay. So I'm seeing Ouroboros now, and I'm seeing the lemniscate. This is cyclical. So there's some kind of upkick in the cycles here of frequencies and evolution. There's so much coming through here that I don't want to get too overwhelmed with it, because there's a lot. But for the purpose of keeping it simple and keeping it on track, this is a cyclical thing. And Lazar is saying that for me to say to you so that you're not worried. So some of you are just going to be comforted by the message that this is cyclical. And that's all he's saying to me. But I'm also getting the image of the Vesica Pisces coming through. Okay, so what's really interesting is this is often a symbol that is used to relate to, and I'm seeing 1 of 55 on the clock right now. So there's shifts in this. This is the number 2 again, because 5 and 5, 155, that reduces 2. It's 1010 on the counter as I say that, okay? So that reduces to a 2. So there's something here. The 10 is coming through as the Wheel of Fortune with the key 10 in tarot, but we're also, which is cyclical, which is about the wheel of life or the wheel of time. I'm also seeing how we often will represent the wheel of time, the wheel of the year, right? In pagan, Wiccan, witchcraft traditions, when we see this as a symbol also for Mother Earth and Gaia, but it's also connected to the energy of the sun. It's also connected to cyclical time. Cyclical time is what Lazar is pointing me back to. Thank you, Lazar, because yeah, there's a lot here. Okay, and I'm almost seeing this superimposed on this now. So we almost have this kind of Trinity energy going on, the trifecta. We are approaching the winter solstice. We are approaching Christmas, right? During the time of Advent. I'm also hearing admin with that. Like, this is like something being administered at this time. And again, it's coming back to light energy and quotient and light quotient energies. And around Christmas, the star, the energy of the 3 wise men, Bethlehem, the star of Bethlehem, the guiding light energies, your North Star. There's a lot coming through here. So please take whatever resonates. In the occult Christ, Ted Andrews talks about Advent and the period of time we're in right now. What I'm being pointed to is understanding purity as power. Being in a pure state of being, divine alignment and energy, divine truth and love is power right now. So this may be, what I'm seeing here is the microcosm and the macrocosm and this third energy of creation all coming together. And how that might be manifesting in the ego purging that is currently taking place is fears coming up around, what am I supposed to be doing next? Like, where do I go from here? What do I do next? And on that note, we're popping cards because there's a lot here. I'm working with this beautiful piece, 1313 on the counter, of Amethyst Barite, this honeycomb amethyst, okay? Working with this beautiful energy. Lazar is showing me a certain degree of, he's showing me alchemy here. He's bringing in, I'm seeing, and I saw this at the beginning of the meditation, which 1333 on the counter, as I say that, working with sacred geometry, the seal of the Merkabah, okay? He's showing me a Merkabah, a purple light Merkabah. And I'm also seeing the golden pyramid that he's brought through before. This is a pyramid of sovereignty, is what he's showing me, okay? It's a golden pyramid. I'm gonna link the video. Can we just make another time? Where this originally came out with Lazar, okay? I'm hearing invoking a pyramid of light and sovereignty around our energy fields. Working with that sacred geometry is incredibly important. Now, he's showing it to me as golden, but he's also pointing to the efficacy of the violet flame or the violet fire energies, okay, where we're transmuting energies. Now, interestingly enough, the golden pyramid is also alchemical. So take whatever works for you here and what resonates for you and what feels good for you. It could be prismatic light that you're working with that works for you, whatever works for you. But working with sacred geometry right now, three-dimensional as we understand it, okay? Sacred geometry, but more, he's showing me feeling into the geometry of it. Like invoking a Merkaba energy around your energy field. What does that feel like to you? And he's drawing me back to this again with that, okay? So like, what does that feel like to you? What does it feel to invoke a pyramid energy around you? Go with what feels really like I'm getting the energy of solid, centered, and just really good for you, okay? With that, okay? So that's where the Amethyst and the Barite are coming in. And I'm also working with this like Calcite Geode. This feels very much like the Lyran Andromedan emissaries wanting to come through for this. I almost feel like the Lazar is really working. He always kind of works with this beautiful amethyst kind of energy, but this really feels like the Lyran Andromedan emissaries of light for the first time ever. So a lot of this is around purification is what they're showing me as well. Yeah. Because they're showing me how this calcite can be very purifying, like selenite, and high frequency in the sense that it actually is kind of almost self-clearing. Take what resonates again, leave what does not. I'm going to be popping cards now from the Wisdom of the Oracle, and I'm asking again through this beautiful Green Witch Tarot deck. They want me to start with, okay, we're starting with the Wisdom of the Oracle here. All right, fear around not knowing what to do next. So like right off the bat, what Lazar is showing me. So these cards, we're going to pop these cards as soul support messages, but understand as well that this fear of not knowing where to go next comes from, I'm hearing a mania, but I'm hearing it in Greek, mania, this mania, 202 on the clock, and they're showing me that reduces to a 4. Remember that this is relationship energy. But the 2 is a relationship, not just to another person or in a romantic sense. It's the relationship that you have to time. It's the relationship that you have to the unknown. It's the relationship that we grow up with around a distorted masculine, a patriarchal system where you need to know everything or else you know nothing. Constructs around knowledge, what is deemed, for example, better in terms of knowledge. So in this particular world system, what they're speaking to with regard to this is this energy of, you know, you need to be well educated, have a degree to be considered knowledgeable, or you, I'm hearing elevation, the pedestal that we put sciences, math, letters up on, right? This idea of knowledge being a very narrow, we see it through a very narrow lens. He's also he's reminding me of the work of Howard, I think it's Gardner, who talks about the different kinds of intelligences, the 7 kinds of smarts, and I know that they've expanded from then, okay? But we grow up with these preconceived notions of what it means to where we're always, this is really interesting, okay. This constant striving for something outside of ourselves, this is also connected to outsourcing our own authority. 1919 on the counter. We need to go back to the Sun card. We need to go back to the child within. We need to go back to our own inner sovereignty, our own source of light. That is where the true knowing lies. So this fear around not knowing what to do next, understand that it is coming through a very narrow lens or framework of indoctrination where the status quo is, you need to know what your top 3 goals are in the next 3 months in order to have the stamp of approval of knowing exactly where to go next. And yet right now, the energy is challenging us to trust, to be in the ebb and flow of it all. And look what card just popped out. Chaos and conflict number 33. This is a master number of change, a master number of integration, a master number of harmony, and I'm getting the energies of Christ consciousness coming through with that as well, and Christ. So this chaos and conflict, what he's showing me, is within ourselves. When you awaken to it as a sovereign spiritual being, the chaos and conflict ends because you become aware of it. Because the chaos and the conflict, oh my God, are you freaking kidding me? A change in the wind. Look at these. This has been a synchronicity that's been coming up as well. Changes in the wind. Have you been hearing that phrase at all? Number 12, that's a 3 again. It's the energy of the Hanged Man. I'm seeing things from a different perspective, okay? I want to read this chaos and conflict. Look at this. You know what I'm hearing? Actually, trying to be something you're not. Trying to be something you're not. In this image, we see a zebra. Interesting. And I'm hearing North Star with this as well. Like something is navigating. You see that? The wind. Going where the wind blows. Right? How do you feel about that statement? That's what Lazar is asking you. He's like, how do you feel about that statement? Does that trigger you? Right? Have you been told, for example, that she just goes where the wind blows? Like it's a bad thing? Right? Everything is on a spectrum is what he's showing me, right? So how do you interpret that? When we say a change is in the wind, does change freak you out? There's a deeper thing going on here. This is a fear of change, right? At some level, the fear around not knowing where things are going to go next is a fear of change. Because if we want things to be stable and controlled all the time, which is a distorted masculine energy, we're going to have a constant fear of change. And we're never going to be able to grow. We're never going to be able to evolve and expand unless we embrace the change. And that is embracing a deeper divine feminine energy that's at work here. It's like in this image, I mean, the zebra is trying to, like, the zebra was trying to be a giraffe, and the zebra's like, no, you're a zebra. Like, what do you, not, look at this. Right? Okay. I'm going to read from the book for that. 33, I'm reading the chaos, and it flipped right open to this page. Okay. Yeah. Disarray, being at cross purposes with another. The tension of opposites. Vesica Pisces, okay? The value of chaos before order. This is exactly where we are at right now. The value of chaos before order. Consider the value of chaos that serves you well as you become unmoored by it, scattered to the winds, a change in the wind, right? You leave behind the parts of yourself you no longer need and disperse seeds to reinvent yourself anew. It's about coming back to the truth of who you are. You may find yourself at cross purposes with someone else facing a storm. Storm imagery. Yeah. Storms, maybe another synchronicity is coming through for you. You feel you can't control. Okay. Yet every storm passes and chaos leads to a reordering of things. Conflict provides a way to see more than one side of a situation. Look upon this as just a moment in time when you may need to take shelter and step away from the fray. Don't be too eager to fight. This is a time to understand rather than to be understood. Okay, so if you've got certain storm images, one of my beautiful friends just shared this with me. And this has been coming up even before that. Like I've been seeing references to storms and also waves. That's another thing. So this, okay, let me just read you the key words for this. A change in the wind. A sense that unseen change has been initiated. Preparation for a storm. Awareness that your plans are not on firm ground. Feeling a shift. Uncertainty about which direction the winds will blow. Now, I can feel that there may be kind of fear coming up around that, especially when we hear stuff like prepare for a storm, okay? But what Lazar is really wanting to bring through here is that this is the actual test right now, if anything. It's how are you able to navigate this uncertainty, thinking you need to prepare for something that immediately your mind goes to the bad of it, to the negative of it. It's 2:11 on the clock. So this is an energy of initiation, walking through that portal of initiation. It's, oh my God, this is right on the nose of what this message is about. Okay, so I'm just going to read the first part of this message. It's human nature to yearn for certainty and resist change, to want the world to remain consistent like a zebra's stripes. Yet nothing in human experience is black and white, nor will anything remain static. The one thing guaranteed is change. Now is a time of transformation as outer conditions are temporarily moving out of sync with your desires and expectations. Stay the course and remember that even storms serve to clear the air, scatter seeds, and nourish the soil for better things ahead. Life is about to get interesting. Anticipate it with curiosity as you wonder what is coming in on the shifting winds. The unknown is where the magic lies. And what Lazar is adding to that is that this is an inherently divine feminine principle that we, in our programming and indoctrination, have been consistently, and I'm even hearing the word consecutively, like lifetime after lifetime, we have been deterred from understanding. And much of that goes from the disconnections that have been sort of imprinted on our souls, the disconnections that we have from Mama Gaia, the disconnections that we have from our own soul, spirit, there's a lot there. Interesting. So I'm just going to read right now look at that at the bottom of the deck. What's this? 9 of Chalices. 9 of Cups. He wants me to pick these up, but I'm seeing the Queen of Athames, the 10 of Chalices. Look at that imagery right there. This energy of wish fulfillment. This is at a much deeper level what each and every one of us, our soul yearns for. It yearns for integration and union. Getting a lot of Venusian energies coming through with that. I'm seeing a dove. This is Christ consciousness, the energy of the divine feminine, okay? Ace of Pentacles popping out, right? That had come out last time. There was something very indicative of that. Look at that. The 3 of Chalices, lots of chalices with that 5 of Pentacles, okay? That's the energy of feeling like you're lost and out in the cold with this, when in fact that is an illusion. Look at this, the Queen of Pentacles, she popped out. That's what wanted to come out right now. Okay, so there's an energy here. That's the white dove. That's the dove, okay? Divine feminine, this is Mama Gaia. This is cyclical time. Look at this. You see that? Christ consciousness, cyclical time. She is merged with cyclical time. I'm also getting the energy of temperance. How do we alchemize this energy? How do we alchemize this energy? That is the question. And that is a question that each and every one of us need to be asking ourselves at the moment. Guidance from our higher selves, the moon, all of this divine feminine energy coming through. 9 of Pentacles, again at the bottom of the deck. This is what had come through the last reading, which I'm going to link up here now because they're all connected. The Green Witch, the energy of the Green Witch, the energy of Mama Gaia, okay? This is our natural state of being. This is where it's at, is what I'm hearing, okay? Supported, integrated, harmony between the divine masculine, the divine feminine, okay? This moon energy is unveiling. Okay, there's also a lot right now, and as we approach the solstice with regard to quote unquote the veil being thin, right? Now, here's the thing though with that particular phrase, okay? We always have access. We always have access beyond the veil. We do. It's just a matter of peeling back the layers. And at certain times of the year, this is interesting. So the veil being thin, that's a phrase that we use. That's a messaging, actually, is what Lazar is saying to me. It's a messaging that is used simply to speak about this connection to cyclical time and the significance of that for us as souls having a human experience, how cyclical time here on Earth is connected to cyclical time throughout the galaxy. And that cyclical time is connected to universal time, multidimensional time. There's going to be a lot of remembering during this time, whenever you find this message, timely yet timeless. Cyclical time is what he's saying to me again. With regard to understanding that more deeply. Understanding our connection to cyclical time more deeply. What that will look like is déjà vu, lucid dreaming, dreams where you feel like you're closing out timelines. Perhaps where you're visiting another timeline is also what I'm being shown. And also timeline shifting. And where this baseline energy frequency that you are used to sort of working with is shifting now. So it's going to have you feeling simultaneously discombobulated, but also like exactly where you're supposed to be, if that makes sense. Like exactly where you, and when I say supposed to, you know what I mean, right? Like it's like aligned. Like a deeper feeling of, yeah, this is exactly, like I have to be here right now. I know that this is exactly where it's at right now. So there will no longer be this feeling of something missing. The moon is really revealing this. Okay, it's very important as well to stay grounded during this time. Also to make sure that you are doing the energetic clearing necessary for yourself in your energy field and transmutation of that, transmutation of the energy. So it's not just about necessarily, I'm hearing like clearing the energy and returning to sender, okay? For example, energies that are not yours, not in alignment with your highest and greatest good or highest and greatest truth. What I'm getting with this more is that there is an energy transmutation of this. So it's about whatever energies you're coming into contact with, whatever is not yours in the clearing process, doing this on a daily basis, right? As you also shield or assert your sovereignty. Essentially, that's what you're doing. This transmutation energy is a clear intention of whatever energies that are not yours, not in alignment with your highest and greatest good, whatever negative, quote unquote, energies, right? Take whatever resonates here with the language and the wording. Whatever is not good or not in alignment with your highest and greatest good, you're going to transmute that now into more love, more understanding, a clarity around your purpose, an energy of embracing change, knowing that you're safe, an energy of even more sovereignty. That's what you're going to be doing with these energies. This is alchemy. This is what we're moving into energetically. A deeper understanding of how inherently unchemical we are. Okay, and I'm going to leave it there. Thank you, Lazar. Thank you to the Lyran Andromedan emissaries of light, my guide, for being here with us, for sharing these energies with us. Thank you. I thank you for being here, for spending your time, sharing your time and energy with us in this space. Empath, lightworker, starseed healer, awakened and awakening soul, beautiful soul, however you resonate with any of that. I'm sending you so much love wherever you are, in love and liberation, always.